What's up, hippie fam? It's Mike back at it with another video for you today. Today, we are going to be converting the San Quentin 3 to Tubeless. To get your tubeless ready conversion started, you're going to need a 6mm Allen key, a set of very strong tire levers. I have these very thick plastic ones. They have no issues undoing beads of tires. You're going to need tubeless ready valves of your choice. You're going to need sealant of your choice. I go with Stan's No Tubes because I did a lot of conversions with non-tubeless ready setups. A tubeless injector, and of course, if your rims are not tubeless ready, you will need tubeless tape for your rims. All right, so the first step in this process is to, in fact, air out your tire, because you won't be able to break the bead on this if you don't air out that inner tube in there. So once you've got your tire fully deflated, you're gonna go ahead and remove only one side of the tire, as you're only going to need to remove the tube from it. Now that you've successfully removed one side of the tire from the wheel, it is now time to remove the tube. All you're gonna do is, since you already took off that lock nut off the Presta, you're just gonna push this up and then pull it out outside the rim, and then the tube should just come right out. And you just keep this as a spare if you want to. Toss that over there. And now it's time to check and see if these wheels are in fact tubeless ready. And they are taped off. So I just have to insert my own valves and sealant. Now on to the next part, inserting the valve. You are going to go ahead and take your valve of choice. I'm gonna go ahead and use these DT Swiss valves that I had laying around. Hopefully these are long enough. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this lock nut off, and the O-ring will be underneath it. This just happens to be attached. And what we're gonna do is, right where the tube Presta valve was installed, we're just gonna install this one and push it right in. Make sure it's sitting firm down, push down with your thumb. And these only need to be finger tight. You don't need to go wrenching them on. And so let's go ahead and insert that around there. Make sure that's tight. You do want to make sure you're putting enough pressure down. And don't mind my intensified faces. This is just a face that I make when I'm using my strength. All right, so that seems like it would be good. I'm hoping it's good. And now it is time to seat the tire back on. Now there are different methods of which you can insert tire sealant. I like to seat the tire first, and then I will go ahead and use the Stan's No Tube injector, and I will insert it through the actual valve and take the valve core out. Now that you've got your tire back on your wheel, you're going to want to seat the tire before you put sealant on it to ensure that no sealant's going to leak out. What I will do in this matter is I use an air compressor. You can use CO2. It's not recommended to use CO2 if after you put in the sealant, depending on the sealant that you are using. So you do need to read the bottle or contact the manufacturer to find out. But I use an air compressor in my garage. They do make little tools to where they're like booster cans where you fill them up with your bike pump and then they blast air in here. But I'm just gonna go put a adapter valve on this, make sure that this is fully open. Attach that. And then I will just grab my air compressor here and we will hook this up here. Once you hear the bead crack, that means that it is seated. You're gonna go ahead then let all the air out of the tire that you possibly can, and then you're gonna go ahead and take valve core remover, and you're gonna go ahead and remove your valve core. And then it's time to take your tire over to a bike stand or anything you can hang it up on, because now we're going to insert the tire sealant. Now it's time to add your sealant. So rule of thumb for adding sealant is usually add 2 ounces in a 29-inch tire. That's exactly what I'm going to do with this 27.5, because why not? There's no point of getting less in there, I believe. So we're going to go ahead and make sure you shake that bottle. And Stan's recommends you shake it upside down, shake sideways, shake it this way, throw it up, do some flippy tricks like you're a bartender with it. Just make sure it's shaken up. And then you're going to go ahead, take your tube here. This is just how I do it. I'm going to go ahead, remove that. And I always attach this first. And then, of course, remove the dropper. And then I'm going to go ahead. Go ahead, attach that. Bend that. And then, one part, make sure you do not get this on your rotors. If you get tire sealant on your rotors, it will contaminate them and you won't be able to stop at all. So we're going to go ahead and fill it up to 2 ounces. Hopefully I have enough for both tires. I think I have 8 ounces left. That is 2 ounces. Put that over on the side. Stick the plunger in. And now we inject that sealant in there. Oh, went everywhere. Recommended to either attach a valve or your bike pump to it and to blow that out so you don't get sealant inside of your valve stem. But I really haven't had an issue with that. They usually get clogged anyways from time to time, so you're just gonna end up having to replace them or clean them anyways in time. And then so just replace your valve core, make sure it's in there nice and good. And now we're going to flip this 180 degrees so the sealant is at the bottom, and we're going to air back up. Once you've aired up your tire after putting in the sealant, you're going to want to make sure that the sealant fills any gaps. I recommend bringing the tire around like this. If you've got a quick release, go ahead, stick your quick release axle in there and spin it like this. But since this is through axle, I'm just gonna do this. And then always bounce it, spin, bounce. Have a little fun if you bounce it back at you. Just to make sure that all gaps are sealed and it's mint. There's no leakage. You're gonna go ahead and you're gonna make sure that you do the same thing for the rear, and you have successfully got rid of your tubes. If you guys wouldn't mind, like and subscribe for more videos. Thank you.